outside and whatever. I haven't identified myself, and I said, I asked him what he was doing, asked him to identify himself and what he was doing, and he refused. He said,
where was he standing on the sidewalk?
He was on the sidewalk.
Okay, so...
Yes, he has a right to be on the sidewalk. Yes. But does he have a right to videotape?
Yes, you're in public view.
Okay. But does he have a right to not identify himself?
Yes, 100%.
He doesn't even have to identify himself to us.
He's doing a First Amendment right. He has a First Amendment right to record. There's nothing wrong with him recording. If you want to be recorded, you can go inside, away from the camera's view.
Is there a gun scene?
I don't know, ma'am.
Who reported that there was a gun scene to us?
I don't know. I know one of our guys said he had his hand in his pocket, inside his bag, when they first seen him, and they didn't know if he had a gun or not. I know that.
Well, we're gonna reverse whoever called on that phone and figure out who's saying he has a gun. That's really important. If people are calling in saying we would have shot this person, that person would have been held responsible.
It wasn't me.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have to figure that out. So everyone's gonna have to hang out.
That's fine. I'm not going anywhere. I have no reason to go anywhere.
What female is calling? We need to speak to her right now because she lied to us, and that's a big issue. So find out what female inside your guys' business called us here for this kind of response.
Right now,
so we'll go inside and find out.
Go ahead.
This is ridiculous.
You guys stay over.
Okay, well, we need you to come outside and talk to us. Because everyone out here is saying that nobody said he had a gun, and that's a very serious accusation.
I know. It looked like he had a gun in his back pocket. That's why I was terrified when I called.
Someone said he has a gun.
I said, it looks like he has a gun in his back pocket. They said, where is it? I said, it looks like it's in his back pocket. And they said, what color is it? And I said,
why
black.
are you calling in the first place? Because he says he's just out here recording. So what's the issue?
What do you mean, what's the issue?
So how did this whole thing present itself that we're calling the police to say someone has a gun who has no gun?
He's been out here, he was taking video and pictures of the school kids, and then my owner went out and he started trying to incite the owner, and then our other gentleman went out with him, Shamir, and so I brought my dog out here to go pee, and the man turned around and I saw something in his back pocket, and it scared the hell out of me, and I came in right away and I called the police. I said, it looks like he has a weapon in his back pocket. And then somebody said, it looked like he had something in his bag. So I hope you guys searched his bag. But
yeah, we did, but you called and reported that he had a gun.
I said it looked like he had a gun.
So
I don't know for a fact
he's out on the sidewalk recording the business, so he's on the sidewalk, not on your business property.
Correct.
So he has a right to be there, he
Correct.
has a right to
He's
record.
not trespassing. But when I saw it look like he had something in his back pocket, that terrified me.
Okay, do you have your ID on you?
I don't. It's in the office. I can give you my name and my number.
I can run her out if you want.
Okay.
What's your last name, ma'am?
First name?
So hold on. A-T-A.
Uh-huh.
How do I pronounce that?
Yes.
And then first name? E-A-R.
B-A-R-A.
Date of birth?
Does he have a weapon?
Man,
Yep.
my problem too with this whole situation, if you're the one calling, is why are you hanging up on our call takers?
I was coming out here to see what was going on.
Okay, then I understand if you thought he had a weapon, I'm fine with that. But what you did, if because he doesn't have a weapon at all.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
No, it's not. You cannot generate a response like that and hang up on our call takers. It's so far from okay. It's just ridiculous. If you were that scared, why would you keep coming back outside?
I didn't come outside. I came to the door to watch what was going on.
You stay on the phone with our call takers if you call 911. This response that you got today is ginormous for a guy who's just recording people and trying to get under people's skin.
Is that what he's doing?
I don't know. I wasn't here, but that's exactly what it seems like. And to call like that and hang up on our call takers, it's a big deal.
Well,
it's
I'm
a
very
big issue.
sorry.
It's
I didn't mean
you
it.
don't get
It
to hang
looked
up.
like he had
People don't call our call takers and get to hang up like that. Their job is to give us updates so
Right.
people don't get hurt.
Right. I just told them, please get someone out here immediately. It looks like
We
he
read
has
what
something.
you guys told them, and
Okay.
it wasn't that. You said, yes, he has a gun,
No.
and he has a gun, yes, he does, and he placed it in his bag. I just saw him place it in his
I
bag.
did not say any of that.
Can I just add something real
Sure.
quick?
None of that.
So since he started out here, we've been getting phone calls nonstop in here, and death threats and everything else nonstop.
Nonstop.
So I don't know. I
Like
can't say that
600
they
calls.
are, but I'm just saying maybe someone from whatever he's affiliated with, maybe they're calling and agitating as well. I don't know.
That's fine. My point is to say, yes, I see a gun is a big deal.
I did not
we
say that.
understand
There's
that,
a
but I'm
school
just
right there.
I'm just adding that to it because I don't know if it
Okay.
could be the case or not.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad he didn't have a gun.
It is what it is what it is at this point.
Okay. All right. You can head back in.
I don't think we need anything else right now.
Thank you for coming out.
Of course.
I appreciate you guys.
Right. From me and
So he sounds like an auditor. Yeah.
What exactly is that?
First Amendment auditor.
Okay.
So they like to go out, like I said, they want to go out and entice people into violating the First Amendment.
Okay.
Like with us, they'll come to our police department, start recording us. An officer confronts them.
And what
then
is
they
their
start-
what is their purpose? What's their motivation?
YouTube, likes on YouTube,
I see. Okay. So
lawsuits,
person.
civil lawsuits.
Okay.
Google it. Just look on YouTube. Look
Okay.
up First Amendment audit.
I usually try to stay away from social media.
No, YouTube. No, YouTube.
YouTube or
YouTube's
any
just
other
videos.
platform and
Just
so
look up
forth.
First Amendment audit, and you'll see a bunch of police officers and other people just recording. Right? Someone says, "Hey, I don't want you recording. I have every right to." Right?
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry
know why he would be
I'm
doing
sorry
that
for the amount of response.
Well, it's the
that
report
you
of a
got.
gun.
Somebody
Somebody
I understand
said
that.
multiple times about a gun, and then a school and children and.
I understand that. I say. It wasn't me. I did call to dispatch and so forth and ask for an officer.
Okay.
And then you can totally do that, but
So
It's just,
I hope my fellow partners give you some knowledge.
I think
for
she did
future.
well. I think she did well. So,
Okay.
You have any questions or anything for us?
I'm sorry,
Any
sir.
questions for us?
No, I guess I'll wait to see what the team obviously.
Wants to do?
I say.
Okay.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. You can just. All right.
All you people are so young.
It is the younger.
Yeah, it's the younger,
Yeah,
the new
younger
generation.
Yeah, it
I
is.
say. I respect. My daughter just got accepted into being a park ranger,
Oh,
National Park Service. So
Where at?
So Yellowstone. So she went through the program and so forth. So
Okay.
he refused to say anything. I asked him to identify. He told me it was none of my business. I asked him why he was recording and so forth, and he told me it was none of my business.
Yeah. Especially he was on the sidewalk, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. If he was like, in the private lot right here, you're definitely can.
One more time, please.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because I'm not sure who she was in there, but she called dispatch, let us know that there was a gun here. It created a
I
urgency
walked
and
in.
response.
I walked in. I overheard her
Uh-huh.
talking, and I told her to back off and so forth. I had it under control.
Okay.
And so forth.
Yeah, because that call taker was trying to call her back, but she wouldn't really pick up or kept calling up and hanging up. So it looked really bad, and it got a really urgent response.
I'd gone in. I wouldn't have known any of this. I was standing outside, away from the gentleman, and so forth, waiting for an officer to respond. And I went in. And I said, "Well, I'm going to go get a chair, since obviously it was." I was low priority.
Yeah.
And so forth, and that's when I overheard her making that statement. I'm like, just back off. I've got it under control, and so forth. So.
Yeah, because it just looks.
I'm sorry she did that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean anything. I know.
Yeah.
You have your rules.
Yeah. Or like I said, our response was very urgent. There's a school pretty much right across the street.
When the first dispatcher asked me if he had a weapon, I said I don't know, and so forth. I'm not allowed to search it. So, and that's how I left it. Now, question: do you run my license to see if I have any outstanding or anything like that, or what is proper protocol?
It just the reason why we run people's license is just to verify that they are who they are.
And obviously, if you need to make a report, you need to obviously get that.
Yeah, all that
but I didn't know
information.
what your standard protocol in something like this, whether I'm whether you're going to check to see if I have any outstanding or anything.
The records will do that as well, but typically, we run people out just to make sure.
I haven't even had a parking ticket for about 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
So.
You guys don't have cameras that point that way?
No, now.
No. Okay, so. Thanks.
That's the only video camera you have right there?
It doesn't hook. It's a phony.
It's a phony.
As it was hooked up years ago, and unfortunately the old technology, the videotape, so forth, stopped running, and as we found that unfortunately, and I'm not trying to talk bad, but a lot of times you will only utilize the footage for certain instances, so forth. We had a theft in the middle of our parking lot, and the statement is that you were obviously weren't going to sit there and do the grainy videotape footage to try to identify who it was, and I understand that.
Yeah, because we don't have special technology that clears grain.
It's not. You don't have CSI.
It's nothing like that. It's not nothing like you see on the TV. Yeah.
CSI, it's like
that you can blow up a grainy footage, and all of a sudden I can identify, how many moles they have on
it's
the
like,
face.
you get like six.
Whatever you guys record is what we see. We don't have any.
And so as I say, it became lower priority and so forth, and so as I say. When we found out it wasn't going to do anything as far as capturing a crime, it was just basically, as I believe the officer at the time said, was to just prove to the insurance company that a crime,
occurred. Yeah.
Occurred.
Especially for insurance purposes, they want to at least see some kind of video surveillance.
So we left it there as a deterrent, but nothing else.
Yeah.
This must be exasperating. This guy sitting here videotaping. As I feel for you.
Go for it for now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'll confirm with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been working here for? Good while?
My sister and I own the business.
Oh, you own the business. Is it Peninsula Crane?
Yes. My father started it back in 1976.
Is it like a construction business?
We supply operated and maintained cranes.
Oh, maintained.
And we also do high-tech moving of equipment. So like MRI machines, we install MRI machines. We do high-tech equipment like out at Intel, so forth.
The business must be booming because there's a lot of construction going on right now.
It's
especially out in the Bay Area. I see like a bunch
It's
of
had a
new
slow
apartments.
start. As I
'Cause of COVID.
typically tell people, we're 6 months behind the boom and 6 months behind the bust.
Uh-huh.
And so when COVID hit, we were very busy trying to get back to work because that funding and all those plans and all those permits were already out there.
Yeah.
And so we were busy for about 6 months after the start of COVID. Then at that point, obviously the banks and the architects and all of the infrastructure that is in place and so forth, obviously stalled, and so there was a lag in there, and so there was a little brief uptick, of course, when interest rates were low,
Yeah.
and the market was doing good. See, in my opinion, a lot of this around in this Bay Area, they have to do something with the money that they get from the stock market, and so like Google was obviously buying up all that property to do something with it. They can't just sit on it, because what happens is the investors say, "Well, give it back to me," as a dividend. So forth. So what they do is they come up with of ways to spend it and so forth. Unfortunately, with the rising interest rates, private investment starts to kind of back off because it gets more expensive.
Yeah.
And so forth. So if the interest rates continue, I think that'll put a damper on things and so forth. And
Yeah.
so
I could see that.
Because most of the people that are going out and getting investment, building a building, they're leveraging it out, 30 years and stuff like that. So unless they can lock in a cheap rate and so forth, they can, it gets more expensive, and they have to reap the benefits backwards. So, although I did read something in Merck, I still get the Merck, that business investment, office buildings, despite of hybrid, people working at home and stuff like that, that there was a large investment in that and so forth. So in 2021, so I think a little bit of that is going to do, but most of the stuff downtown, J. Paul is finishing up that one at what is that, Almaden and Post, that where the two tower cranes are.
Yeah.
So where J. Paul also has the Park Center Plaza.
Where's that one at?
That's the structure across the street. They took down the old courthouse and so forth, and all those buildings there between, is it Post, Almaden, and San Fernando? That's all under. It was all Park Center Plaza with that parking structure. That's all getting demoed, and it's going to get repurposed as an office structure.
Office structure? Is it Google taking over that?
I'm sorry, sir?
Is Google taking over that?
It's owned by J. Paul.
J. Paul.
Where J. Paul is in the large investor out of LA. Whether or not they will re-rent back to Google is obviously no one knows.
Yeah, because
Google tends to like to purchase their own property and then so forth. They own a lot of stuff over by the SAP. As you may or may not know, they purchased all of the properties like Stevens Meat and the old KNTVU and the Fire Training Center. That was all part of that when San Jose was trying to woo the Giants into San Jose, so forth. And so I believe San Jose last year sold all those properties that they had obtained and so forth to back. That's why they moved the Poorhouse Bistro, because that, I think, property was sitting on Google land. So the Poorhouse Bistro used to be on, what is that, Montgomery?
Montgomery, okay, so towards the 101.
Towards the SAP, between San Carlos over. They just moved that over to Little Italy and so forth.
Okay.
But I believe that land, because that was I don't know if it was deemed a historic house, but they moved it over to Little Italy next to Henry's High Life, and I forget what the Italian restaurant that's in there.
Oh yeah, I know Henry.
Paisanos or something like that. I've never. I've been to Henry's High Life a while ago, but I've never frequented the other spots. But Google owns all of that, so in fact the Fire Training Center is what they're building down here next to the city courtyard. And so they're obviously moving out of that location and so forth, because Google owns all of that. When they will, start demoing building, who knows? I mean, that's up for them to do. I mean, they just spent a large deal out at Moffett Field so forth. That whole spot behind Moffett Field was all a new Google campus. So that's for them to decide.
But then I'll be done.
I have to ask. You all have similar pens except for her. She doesn't like the gel pen. Apparently.
Yeah, I personally like writing with this one because it's
That's a
very
gel pen.
It's a pen. It's a 0.5, and like I just write really.
And so
it's
forth.
fine.
And this gentleman here has two of the same. So obviously their company, their department issued. And
No,
so forth.
these are
But
department issued ones right
But
here.
this officer here is sparking the trend. She
Yeah.
she likes.
This one's department issued. These ones are not department.
Oh, they're not department issues, but they're like proper
This
uniform.
is what the department gives us.
Yeah.
Or the gel pens.
Oh yeah, this one too. They give us
So-
these.
So you obviously have a
This one
choice
right
of
here. They get this
gel
one.
or regular ink.
It's not really gel,
And so
but yeah. I just
I don't like that because I can't fit two. Do you fit two in there?
yeah.
Oh, but not the same.
These? No.
I want it to match.
I say, unfortunately, with the gel pens, they have such a small ball. If you press really hard on something, it probably rips the paper.
Yeah, and
if
especially
you're doing like a multi-sheet.
yeah, because
and
usually
so
our forms
forth.
always have more than like 2 sheets, right? It's always like
So you
3
got
copies.
yourself- So you have to be careful trying to
Yeah.
press too hard on it.
Yeah, especially if you don't push hard enough, it doesn't go through all of them, and it's like really hard to read. So these regular pens are perfect for those papers, and then this one is just note taking. So I have 2 different pens.
Well, I heard Sarge is going to give Hunter a call. So we'll see if he reports with anything. If he doesn't in like a few minutes, then you want to ask her to go.
What school is this? Is that a middle school or elementary?
Elementary.
Elementary. Yeah, we're good. We're good here.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, do you have the,
we have to stay here with
yeah, we will.
I'm not going anywhere, ma'am.
him. Yeah, I know. But there's another call that he's going to.
That's fine.
Bannister? Yeah, that's right there, yeah. Yeah, Bannister? Yeah. Oh, he's over there.
Who's running this thing to say whether he can bounce in the Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Officer Rodriguez explained that. So, as long as he's not on my property, as long as he's on the sidewalk, then.
Yeah, so I mean, and it's kind of weird because every situation's so different, but it's like, we even have to deal with that as officers for, like, if we're going to do a search warrant on a house, to gain information, if I could see something without breaking the private property.
It's just cause. Isn't that the term?
Well, what I'm saying is if I could see something like, let's say you have a fence up, and I'm kind of looking, but I can't see anything. I can't go over and climb the fence to look in.
Correct.
Okay? But if I go to the neighbor's house and I go up on their second floor and look out their window, I'm on their property and I'm looking down.
Or you're taking a public access, say it's a second story and you're in the public access.
Yeah, just not
so
on
forth,
your
that's legal.
property, but anybody flying over, anybody.
So
whatever.
drones, are they legal?
Yeah, drones are legal.
They are?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But you know what's
Goodness
not legal?
gracious. So I don't have the right to my airspace above me. Huh?
You don't own the air to Mars. It doesn't
Really?
work like that. you
Well,
own it?
I thought some
Well,
lawsuits
let me ask you,
alluded
when
that.
you own your property,
Do they charge me for that?
when you
No.
own your property and your property's sitting on soil, right?
Right.
How much soil do you think you own? All the way down to, now if you believe the world's flat, it's probably an issue. But if it's round, you think you just own as deep as you can dig and still your land?
I know there's mineral rights and so forth. So you're allowed to certain mineral rights, and obviously if anything that I do to pollute obviously escapes my property and stuff like that, I'm
Right,
obviously
or cave in
liability.
or change things.
Or yeah, if water that comes from my site, so forth, obviously escapes, and so we're
So you know how
divesting.
you see video? Yeah, we are digressing. You know how you watch videos, and I don't know if you watch YouTube videos, but sometimes you see someone's getting upset with somebody, and somebody's filming. They go, "You need to stop filming me. You need to turn off your camera. You can't film me." Well, yeah, they can.
Okay.
Especially
I don't
in
watch
public
YouTube,
areas.
so I
You just
probably should start.
Yeah, but when you start doing that, and people can film
I
all
usually
they
use
want.
YouTube to fix my appliances.
I like
It's
it.
the greatest thing. It tells you exactly how to fix your stove.
Pretty much fix anything. It's all DIYs. You can even probably make a stove on YouTube.
What was it? It was the greatest thing. I had a blender, so forth, and a little deal on the top that connects, so forth. I couldn't quite figure out how to get it, and I say, YouTube didn't, and they showed exactly how to get the thing off, and I'm
It's
like,
like a screw, right? You just screw down into
no,
it? It's at the bottom, I think?
it's the way that the motion is. It makes it tighter, and so I forget what you had to do. You had to take a hammer and you bopped it in a certain direction, and the thing spun right off.
It's kind of weird,
But
huh?
you're sitting there trying to work against a motor and so forth with no way of doing it. It was the greatest thing.
Yeah.
That's my wife's favorite deal. She says, "Well, just go YouTube," and I'm like, "You're crazy." And then, sure enough,
Dude, YouTube has everything. Has everything.
sure. Can I? Are you a detective, or you're obviously dressed like? You're just old. Okay. Okay.
What's your question? Is that the question?
Well, obviously, you're different than everybody else, but obviously you have a certain rank and so forth in there. So I was just curious, just curiosity.
Yeah, the rank of age.
Okay.
I'm a trainer, and and this is a training district. And when we get in certain phases of training, we try to let our trainees act on their own and with others. And as the trainers, we try to step back and let them do that. If I was wearing this uniform, standing next to the one I'm training, you may not maybe look at me with authority, you'd be looking at him with, and that's what we need, right? So that's why we wear this.
Well, I was looking at both of you with authority. Obviously, they are looking up to you, but obviously they have the arsenal. So.
Yeah, well, we all do, right? But I didn't mean you. That wasn't fair. But obviously, when a lot of us talk, we just talk in generalities. And I use you. I actually mean everybody, as in people.
And
I should
general,
say,
yeah.
people will look at me, if I'm cover up, as kind of, they won't even notice me, but they'll definitely notice the uniform.
Correct.
So we want you to focus as a civilian or who they're talking to on that person, and I could observe the training zone.
Okay.
Some are on their way into their careers, and some of us are on our way out. Right?
Can I borrow your ID one more time?
Wow.
Do you need his information?
I have it already.
Boy, I wish I got a frequent flyer miles on this.
Because Sanchi has it.
Yeah, I got it from him.
Okay, okay.
Perfect. Class A. Alright, Mr. Daly, you come over here real quick.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so you're going to get a criminal citation for vandalism. Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't ever here, so I don't know that.
Your court date's going to be 4/15/2022 at 9 a.m. The court right here, the address. Sign right here, not an issue to guilt. I promise that you'll show up in court. We'll take care of it.
Now, will I get? This is the first time I've done this, so sorry. Will the court give me anything further, or is it? Is this the only?
They should send you something in the mail, but you're gonna get a copy too, and it'll have your court time and everything, and your date. Like I said, it's gonna be right thumbprint. Right here in the box.
Does that work?
Yeah, perfect. So this is gonna be your copy right here. And like I said, this is gonna be the court date and the time. If you have any questions, there's a phone number right there. But like I said, that's just your court day, okay? Do you have any questions for us?
I don't believe so at this time, sir.
Okay, sir. You have a good day.
So, I can so that's 594.
That's the
That's the code. So
yeah,
I can
it's
look
gonna be
that,
a
I can
penal.
look,
Yeah,
I can look that up. This
Yeah.
is all I'm looking
Just
at.
make sure you write code section. That way, always more clear.
Just so I understand
Yeah.
what I'm being charged, so I can look it up.
It's gonna be the penal code section 594 and vandalism. Okay.
And this, I assume, has to do with the camera.
Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. You have any questions for us? All right. You're free to go.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You have a nice day.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.